Hey, and welcome to your Scorpio horoscopes for the week of the 11th through the 17th of February. We have no planets in Scorpio this week. Focus is on your day-to-day schedule with nothing really to influence that. There's a couple of things that really come up around this for you guys this week. The first thing is the word flexibility. I know for fixed signs, being a fixed sign myself, flexibility is not something that we are really good at dealing with. Fixed signs like to make a plan and stick to the plan and not necessarily veer away from that plan, especially when it's other influences or other people that have a tendency to be changing the plans on us. Trust me when I say I work in the entertainment industry. Plans change daily, every 5 minutes, constantly, can never keep a schedule. It's so frustrating. And that's why flexibility is so important, because without that flexibility, those frustrations just get higher and higher and higher and higher to the point where you're just gonna blow your stack. The smoke starts coming out of your ears. You get really frustrated. And I really feel strongly this around work situations specifically, where you get kind of sort of used to things being a certain way or your schedule being a certain way. And then everything changes all of a sudden, completely out of your control, making it creating one of those situations where you have to scramble and reschedule everything around these changes. It is definitely frustrating. Trust me. Welcome to my life, guys. Okay. And it is, as a fellow fixed sign, as frustrating as it is, having a positive outlook on flexibility and being open to being flexible definitely helps with that, because it eliminates the frustration. Yes, I get frustrated with my schedule changing every now and then, but not quite to the extent that I used to. It used to drive me insane, to the point where I really didn't have the focus to be able to kind of sort of change things around when they needed to be changed around. I was spending more time focused on my frustration and less time focused on, let's just fix the problem or move things around really quick. The other thing that I'm feeling is, in terms of focus on your day-to-day schedule, what's really important and what we tend to forget a lot is inputting that time for ourselves into that schedule, especially if you have a family, a full-time job. I talk to so many people who don't have time, just don't have time for self-care. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that, blah, 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 blah. I've actually said those words so many times, I want to omit them from my own vocabulary, to be honest with you. Implementing self-care into your schedule is important. In fact, in some cases and some days out of my life, if I don't have it scheduled, it's just not going to happen. But it is important. Self-care is something that, two things about self-care really. First of all, self-care and selfishness are not the same thing. However, they are um very often confused. Self-care is making sure that you eat right, that you're feeding your body the right nutrients. Self-care is taking a 15-minute long shower instead of a quick 5-minute shower every now and then. Self-care is 5 minutes in your car before you go home, just to do some breathing exercises and relax, let go of the day, so that you're open and ready to deal with what's going on at home, so that you're not constantly moving from one thing to another to another to another and completely exhausting yourself. Our energy is not just based on what we're physically doing, it's what we're mentally doing, it's what we're emotionally doing. um, it's what we're focused on. It's how many things that we have to focus on. Our energy is made up from all of these different things. And if one of them is off, everything else feels off too. Think about it. How often have you been so tired at the end of the day that all of a sudden you feel kind of achy and it's almost like you feel like you're coming down with something? That's your body's way of saying, okay, I have nothing left because you didn't implement these self-care practices during the day. I've got nothing left. And now I'm going to make you feel sick to make you go to sleep. And it's forcing you to make your body stop. And how many of us have like, okay, well, let me just push through this and keep on going and get these few extra things done because I won't have time for them tomorrow. And then you really get sick, right? One of the most valuable lessons the universe has taught me over the years, since before COVID, thankfully, is if you don't take care of yourself, the universe will force you to take care of yourself. You don't take time off to yourself, the universe is going to force you to spend a week in bed taking care of yourself. And I don't like being forced into that sort of thing. So I'm very aware of it now, and that I make sure that in my schedule, there is a 20 minutes here and a 20 minutes there, at least twice a day, that are for me. Do some deep breathing exercises, do some meditation, clear all the cobwebs of what I have been through so that I can focus my energy on what I need to get done next. And quiet is really important in that for me. Being a very intellectually driven person, my brain is going a mile a minute all the time. So that physical quiet around me is really important to silence what's going on in here as well. Scorpios are not known to be intellectually driven. That does not mean that you're not overthinkers. Everybody is to a certain extent. So, bottom line here, I feel for this week for you guys is really to pay attention to what is in your schedule and making sure that you are a priority in that schedule. And that few minutes or hour-long commute time between work and home is not self-care time, okay? You have to pay attention to the road. You have to focus. Your brain is going a mile a minute on all the things that you need to get done there. You're dealing with all the traffic and all the idiots driving around you on the road. That's not self-care. That's part of your schedule, the things that you have to get done. So just sometimes it only takes 5 or 10 minutes of just completely and totally undetaching from everything around you, just to recenter yourself and rebalance yourself and put yourself in the right state of mind to be able to take care of what you need to take care of. This is not just good for you, by the way. This is good for everybody. It's good for your family. Think of how many times you come home from work just exhausted and irritable, and the kids are just like, that's of course when the kids are like, mommy, 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 daddy, 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 blah, 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 which you're not going to be able to deal with in that state of mind. But if you take the time to kind of let everything go at work and refocus your energy, you're more open to be able to not just deal with that, but enjoy that. Because let's face it, kids grow up like that. I mean, literally 1 minute they're two, and then you blink, and then they're fully grown. And then you don't have that experience anymore. It's completely different. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation through my coffee link, which is down there in the description. Would really appreciate that. Love the coffees. You guys are awesome. Also, check out my website in the description as well. All kinds of really cool stuff going on there. You can get in touch with me if you would like to do that. You can book time right there on the website. Check out the membership options, all kinds of stuff going on the website. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, you guys, let's kick some butt and get that stuff done, but make sure that you are priority on that list. I'll see you guys next week. You guys make it a great week.